Hey guys, what's up? I just thought I'd do a little update for you. I am almost 8 weeks post-op phalloplasty. I will be 8 weeks on Tuesday. So yeah, that's crazy to think about. I think right now I'm kind of at this point of like trying to integrate myself back into normal everyday life. And it's harder than you would think when you've gone from a point of being like so dependent or incapable of doing everyday things that when you finally can start to do things, it's weird. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now, trying to figure out what I can do, what I cannot do, and what causes me pain and whatever. Like, I have my good days and bad days. There's some days where I feel pretty good and I feel like I'm capable of almost being back to normal life, but then I get a little bit sore and then I kind of take it back a little and need a little bit more rest. So I kind of just keep in mind that I still am recovering, although some days I feel pretty good. My most recent update has to do with peeing as usual. And last week I was able to pee more successfully. My urine was coming out of the tip. I had a fistula at the base of my penis that all of my urine at one point was coming out of the bottom in just that bottom hole, and it was super discouraging and kind of scary. And I'm happy to report that hole has mostly closed up, which is pretty crazy to think about, from having my urine going just through that one hole to having it come out the tip. So I do have 2 fistulas. It is still leaking at the fistula that is further up my penis, so that kind of sucks. That one's having some trouble healing up, but considering the more problematic one at the base of my penis has started to heal very well, Dr. Chen is pretty positive that the one further up on my phallus is going to heal too. My latest doctor's appointment with Dr. Chen, I had my catheter changed. He was a little concerned in an email. I always update him in an email after I urinate to kind of tell him how it went, what percentage of my bladder was emptied, what came out the tip, what leaked out of the fistula. And then he kind of makes a decision from there. He usually tells me either to keep peeing, stop peeing, or kind of what the game plan is from there. And he was a little concerned because I couldn't empty my bladder and because I was still having so much pain urinating. Without using the azo, it burns so bad. And I understand this to be normal, so I'm not so much concerned with the burning, but it does prevent me from like keeping a urine stream going just because it is so painful. But I'm also finding that I am experiencing pain from the catheter itself, and I learned that from my past doctor's appointment. So when I got to my latest doctor's appointment with Dr. Chen, he was kind of saying that he was tempted to just pull the catheter out completely because he has had some cases where a lot of the pain is actually caused by the catheter and not so much the actual pain from the urethra. And this makes a lot of sense to me, considering I now know that I am having bladder spasms at the end of when I'm urinating from the catheter. And I didn't know that's what it was until after he replaced the catheter, and that feeling that I was getting of him replacing it was the same feeling I was getting at the end of peeing. Here's my tube. This is how I currently urinate. I do not urinate as much through my penis. I will eventually, but right now this is how I'm emptying my bladder. This tube goes to a little opening down here. So this goes straight into my bladder. So to change this tube out, it was very cringeworthy, uncomfortable. But what they do, so I have a balloon in my bladder right now that is inflated. So he took a syringe and he deflated the balloon and he pulled this tube out, and that was really strange feeling. It wasn't super uncomfortable, but it was not comfortable at the same time. And so that kind of ached a little bit. And the moment that he took that out, it felt so good to not have anything in my bladder. I didn't know how much I was feeling the balloon in my bladder until it was gone. And he put back in the catheter. He's really good about not telling you when he's doing something, so I was kind of like not ready for him to pull it out, but he just did it super fast, and I wasn't ready, but it was probably for the best because the pain is very temporary. It's mostly uncomfortable. So to put the catheter back in, he just put that back in the hole. That hurts. Then he re-inflated the balloon in my bladder, which was the most painful and uncomfortable part, and now I have a fresh new tube. Isn't it so fancy? So I'm so fond of my new pee tube, but after that, it ached a little bit afterwards. I felt it a little burny around the incision site, and I felt the balloon in my bladder. It was kind of irritating my bladder a lot, especially after getting changed and deflated, inflated. So I had to take some Advil to kind of get rid of that. But now that I'm aware of the feeling of the balloon, it's even more irritating. So I'm really hoping that I might be able to get this catheter out within 1 to 2 weeks if I do not have stricture, if I'm able to urinate and things like that. However, I did have my local doctor refer me to a urologist nearby so that I feel more comfortable getting my catheter out when I'm closer to home, because when he was saying that he's tempted to just pull my catheter, immediately my anxiety went to, what if I have to pee on the way home and I'm not used to peeing and it still hurts so bad. So I imagined myself in like a truck stop on the way home trying to pee and just being in so much pain that I was just like, nah, just change it out for now. I was just not ready, and it caused me more anxiety thinking about getting it out, as much as it felt good not having it in there for a good like 2 minutes. But so I'm gonna see a local urologist, and I'm gonna see if I can have him pull it out when I'm ready instead of Dr. Chen, just so I don't have that drive in between and I'll be closer to home. And if I have issues, I kind of have someone to fall back on to put the catheter back in if I need to. So I'm just trying to lessen my anxiety through the process, and so that's kind of where I'm at now. I have been instructed to pee again on Monday, and I'm gonna see how that goes. I'm gonna use the azo because I know it's gonna burn, and I wanna mostly focus on seeing how much I can empty my bladder, because that's kind of the most concerning part. I need to be able to empty my bladder before I get this catheter pulled. So hopefully I don't have a stricture, hopefully I can empty my bladder. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Sorry, this is kind of long-winded, but thank you so much for listening. And of course, always leave questions down below. I do try my best to get to every question. If I missed your question, I'm really sorry. Keep asking, because sometimes I'm not getting like notifications of comments, and so if I missed it, I apologize. But yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate the support so much, and I don't know how I could get through all this without it. So yeah, thank you. All right guys, peace out. I'll keep you updated, and I'll see you next time.